Today we're going to talk about age word problems. We're going to break this up into 3 different colors as we're going through the chart. The first thing we're going to do is underline the very first sentence. Erin is 6 years older than her brother Derek. That automatically tells you the 2 people we're working with are Erin and Derek. It says Erin is 6 years older than her brother Derek, but we don't know how old he is, so we're going to place that as our X. Then it tells us that she is 6 years older. That means that we need to add 6. So for her age, we're going to put X plus 6 in the column for now. The next part is where it gets a little bit complicated. You need to look at just the beginning of the next sentence. We'll put that in a dark pink. So it says 6 years ago. As soon as it says that part, we need to stop and finish filling out the rest of our chart. 6 years ago means in the past, or minus 6. If we take 6 years off of Erin's age, she becomes X. If we subtract 6 years off of Derek's age, we take X minus 6. The twice as old as he was then does not belong inside your chart. It's going to be used for your equation. So when you read the entire second sentence, when it says 6 years ago, she was twice as old as he was then, I think that's helpful to write it out in a sentence. So if we have 6 years ago, she was twice as old as he was, the first part tells us that we're going to be using this column in order to set our equation. So she, in the 6 years ago column, was X. The word was translates to equals. Twice means 2 multiplied by, and then his age in that column is X minus 6. Now we're going to go through and solve. If we distribute the 2, we get 2x minus 12. If we subtract 2x from both sides, we end up with negative 1x equals negative 12. And if we divide by 1, we get x equals positive 12. Now we want to go through and look at what the question's actually asking for. And that I'm going to go ahead and underline in orange. How old are Erin and Derek now? So to answer our question, we're going to be plugging in to that column. So in that column, we have Derek is 12. And if we plug 12 back into Erin's age, 12 plus 6 gives us 18. So Erin is 18. Let's look at the second example. The very first sentence tells us that Max's father is 26 years older than Max is now. So our 2 people are Max and his father. Max is younger, so he'll be our X, and the father gives us X plus 26 because older implies addition. The next little part of the sentence says in 10 years. So at that point, we're going to stop and fill out the rest of our chart. Whenever it's in something years, that means you're going to have a plus. So we have plus 10 because it says 10 years. If we add 10 onto Max, we get X plus 10. If we add 10 onto the father, we get X plus 36. So for our equation, we have in 10 years, their sum will be 80. So in 10 years means we're going to be using this column. Their sum means that we're going to be adding their ages together. So we have X plus 10, which is Max's age, plus X plus 36, the father's age, will be means equals, and then we have 80. X plus X gives us 2X. 10 plus 36 gives us 46, and we set that equal to 80. If we subtract 46 from both sides, we will get 2X equals 34, and if we divide by 2, we will get X equals 17. Looking back at the question, it says, how old will each of them be in 10 years? That means that they want to, again, use this column in order to answer it. So we're going to substitute 17 in place of the variable. 17 plus 10 gives us 27, so Max is 27, and his father is 53 in 10 years. In the next example, it's slightly more complicated. We need to add an extra column. So it says in 4 years, Billy's age will be the same as Jenny's age now. 2 years from now, Jenny will be twice as old as Billy. We have two different things going on here. We have in 2 years, and we have in 4 years. Our two people are going to be Billy and Jenny. So Jenny's age now, we don't know. What we do know is that in 4 years, Billy's age will be exactly the same. So those two variables need to match. If Jenny is x now, in 2 years, she will be x plus 2, and in 4 years, she will be x plus 4. We have to be careful when we are defining Billy's age because we need to go backwards. So if we subtract 2 and then subtract 4, our chart is complete. So it says 2 years from now, Jenny will be twice as old as Billy. That means we're using this inside column to set our equation. So in 2 years, Jenny will be twice Billy. So Jenny's age in this column is x plus 2. Will be is our equals, and then we have twice x minus 2. If we distribute the 2, we will get 2x. 2 multiplied by 2 gives us 4. And now we need to move the variables to one side. If we subtract 2x from both sides, we will get negative 1x plus 2 equals negative 4. By subtracting 2 on each side, we will get negative 1x equals negative 6, and then x will equal positive 6. Looking back at the question asks what are both of their ages now, which means we're plugging into the now column to answer our final question. 6 is going to replace Jenny, so Jenny is 6. And if we plug in 6 to Billy's age, 6 minus 4 gives us 2. So that means Billy is 2. Okay, you may want to hit pause at this point so you can pull out your homework. Let's go through two problems together, numbers 2 and 3, to help you get jump started. Number 2 says Jacob is 4 times as old as his son now. So, we don't know how old the son is. That's going to be our x. 4 times just means 4x. The next part of the sentence says in 3 years. At that point, you need to stop and ignore the rest of the sentence. And that's the part that gets really complicated because you want to put all of these other numbers into the chart, but they don't go there. Those are used to help you solve the equation. 3 years in the future means plus 3. So if we need to add that to Jacob's age now, that becomes 4x plus 3 since they're not like terms. And the son will be x plus 3. The in 3 years also indicates that we're going to be using this column in order to set up our equation. So it says Jacob will be 3 times his son. So using this column, Jacob is 4x plus 3. Will be is your equals. 3 times makes you open parentheses, and his son is x plus 3. Once you get those parts, solving the equation should be pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at example number 3. Goofy is now 3 times as old as Pluto is. 5 years from now, Goofy will be twice as old as Pluto is then. How old are they in 5 years? So, if we look at the age now, Goofy is going to be 3 times as old as Pluto. So Goofy is 3x and Pluto is x. The next part says 5 years from now. That means 5 years in the future, so we need to add 5. If we add 5 to 3x, we get 3x plus 5. If we add 5 onto Pluto, you're going to get x plus 5. Again, this part being with the next sentence means that we're going to be using this column to set up your equation. So it says 5 years from now, Goofy will be twice Pluto. I do think there's a value in rewriting that little sentence so that you can do a direct translation right underneath. So Goofy is our 3x plus 5, will be is our equals, twice means 2 multiplied by something, and here it will be the quantity of x plus 5. Good luck with the rest of the homework, and we will go over the rest in class.